everyone, welcome to Off the Charts, episode 189. Before we start off, if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe, tell your friends, and hit that little motherfucking bell. So, today I'll be doing another one of my Remembering Forgotten Bands. This one is actually pretty interesting. By now, probably people will know, because of the internet, people will know who Samson is. But back then, when we first got, Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast, and Peace of Mind, and then found out that Bruce Dickinson was part of another band called Samson, it here in Canada anyway, was not easy to figure out. This little thing. What the hell is that? Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. There you go. Still not fucking got. Anyway, cheers to you all, first of all. So, yeah, we're going to talk about Samson, which was part of the new wave of British heavy metal. Has a lot of ties with Iron Maiden. We'll get into that also, which is why I'm wearing the shirt, because I don't own a Samson shirt. So we got into Samson. My God, it was probably late 80s, early 90s before we figured out. Of course, bands will capitalize, or not bands, record companies will capitalize on, Iron Maiden's success with, having a cassette or a CD, Samson featuring Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden. We all know how those record companies work there. So yeah, they were formed in 1977 by Paul Samson, which is where they got their name from, obviously. They were part of the new wave of British heavy metal. I guess would say limited success. They had, I find them, they're like King Cobra, where they had a bunch of people when they went off to bigger success. Well, this is like same thing here with Samson, where it was the building ground of, Bruce Dickinson, Nicky Moore, and so on there. So, well, first of all, it's, Paul Samson's on guitar and vocals. More to come on why I'm putting him vocals. Chris Aylmer on bass, Thunderstick on drums, and I'm putting in brackets Clive Burr. So yeah, that guy, the drummer for the first 3 Iron Maiden albums. While Clive Burr was in Samson, Thunderstick was in Iron Maiden. I don't know if they quit or got fired, but they anyway switched bands. More on that later. So yeah, Thunderstick on drums, and that was the gimmick of the band. Well, first of all, and also at the time, not Bruce Dickinson, but Bruce on vocals. So yeah, Thunderstick was the gimmick of the band, which was nobody knew his identity. His name was Thunderstick. I forget what his real name was. I don't really care, to be honest. He wore a leather mask, like a leather bondage mask. Some sort of one piece, what do you call those suits? They're anyway, a one piece suit. They're pretty much. But yeah, that was the big gimmick of Samson, was they had a drummer where you didn't know the identity. Apparently, it was all crazy, and he wore a leather mask. You see his, there was holes, and I think there was a zipper. Is there a picture? Well, there's a picture on my little intro. What do you call that? There, thumbnail there. Yeah, let's see. Does he have? Yeah, it's got a little thing on his head, like but his anyway, it's all you'll see on the thumbnail there. Anyway, so that was the lineup of the first band technically. First album technically, also first band. Anyway, cheers again. So in 1979, they come out with their first album. Now, this is their first album called here, Survivors. So this has Paul Samson as lead vocals. Thunderstick, drums, percussion, Chris Elmer bass, Bruce on vocals. So technically, Bruce was part of this album, but he just doesn't sing on it. He joined after the whole recording process was done. This is like, so here's a picture of how Thunderstick look like right here. That's Paul Samson. That's Chris Elmer and Bruce right there. So 1979. Gotcha. They release Survivors. So this is, yeah, pretty much a three-piece with Paul Samson, Chris Elmer, and Thunderstick. Bruce joining the band after the album was completed. But he's on the picture. He's part of the band in on the pic. Well, he's part of the band here, just didn't do anything. Like he wasn't part of the recording. So there you go. Survivors from 1979. Now, 1980. This is where it gets interesting. So first of all, this is an ugly cover. So Samson Head On. This is Bruce's official first vocal performance on an album. Now, you have, if I can, I'll put the link to it. So there's a video that takes place with this album here. It's on YouTube. It's called Biceps of Steel. It was supposed to be like a mini movie. So it's got Hard Times and Vice Versa. It's the band Samson playing at, I think it's a jail. And there's actually a real Samson, you know, the legend there with Samson. If you cut off his hair, he doesn't become strong anymore. That's Samson there. So it's fun. It is what it is there, but the songs are great. So I would easily say this is actually my favorite of the Samson records here. I've played this one to death. So yeah, you got Hard Times, Take It Like a Man, Vice Versa is great. Here's again where it gets interesting. So there's a song on here called Thunderburst, which was written by Samson, Aylmer, Thunderstick, Bruce, and Harris. Well, at the same time, this is probably when Thunderstick and Clive Burr were part of Maiden, and the other one was part of Samson. And on Iron Maiden's album Killers, there's a song called The Ides of March, and then you listen to Thunderburst, and you're like, holy fuck, it's the same fucking song. Just slightly different on this one. I mean, the version on Killers is much more better produced, better recorded. This one has, I mean, it's good. You got to listen to it just to compare the two. So listen to Thunderburst, then compare it to Iron Maiden, The Ides of March, which is, they're both an instrumental there. But anyway, yeah, my only complaint about this album is the mix of the drums. Like, it sounds really tight. They're really a tight band, but there's something with the drum sound, just like it sticks out too much. But the songs are there, man. Like, and here we go. There's your Bruce, Thunderstick. That's how you look like there. Paul Salmon, and that's Chris Aylmer on bass. So, but yeah, maybe the mixing isn't the best, but the songs are definitely there. So, Samson Head On from 1980. Then came, cheers again. Then came 1981, and this is how we found out. Much later, by the way, which was a reissue, but Shock Tactics by Samson. This is where we discovered. Oh, Bruce Dickinson had a band before Iron Maiden, and he was called Bruce. Tee hee. We were laughing at that name. I was like, who the hell comes up with that stage name? But anyway, so yeah, 1981, Shock Tactics, still the same lineup. Riding with the Angels is a great song. Earth Mother's a nice one. Grind Crime, yeah, it's a little. This is considered by most to be their best one. I disagree. I still think that Head On, the one before that, is much better. Sure, this sounds a lot better, 10 times better, but the songs to me are way better on Head On. But anyway, 1981, Shock Tactics comes along, and would be the last album to feature Bruce. He would go on to Iron Maiden, The Number of the Beast, and use his, I guess, real name, Bruce Dickinson. I doubt his mom called him Bruce. But anyway. But he didn't leave right after this. It seems that he left while they were recording the follow-up album, writing it actually. So anyway, here's Bruce Dickinson went on to Iron Maiden here. The rest is history for that, obviously. So 1982 comes Before the Storm. And a lot of these songs, if you look on the back credits, are also Bruce has got like writing credits on like at least 1, 2, 3. I thought it was more than that there. Well, the Wikipedia is lying because this one here, anyway, there's 3 songs co-written by Bruce Dickinson. So in comes Nicky Moore to replace Bruce Dickinson. I love Bruce Dickinson's vocals. I love Nicky Moore's vocals. Are they the same? Not even close. So Bruce Dickinson, which was Bruce, has more of an operatic, metal, that typical metal singer, while Nicky Moore is more bluesy, hard, like soul, hard rock. Great voice though. Like but, and I remember this in Martin Popoff's book here, where when this came out, they named it as a CLM, which is a career limiting move. He goes, I love Nicky Moore's vocals, but in today's society, he was a tad bigger man. So yeah, here's how he looks like right here, Nicky Moore. I have no problem whether he's big or small, whatever there, but society wants an image, right? But the guy can sing. And what I find for Nicky, they're great albums. There's just no, again, nothing comes close to Head On there. But it's Nicky Moore's albums. I find that they start off good, but then they slowly become great. And by the time you're at the last song, you're like, holy shit, these last couple of songs are great. Why not have put those songs at the beginning? So anyway, it's there's at the end, it's like Losing My Grip and Young ID are so good. I do like Danger Zone, which is the first one there. But yeah, still the same lineup, just Nicky Moore on vocals. And so this is from 1982, Before the Storm. And of course, Thunderstick is not here. It's Pete Jupp on drums. I looked up on Wikipedia, mind you, I didn't look that difficult. Like I didn't take that much time. I'm not sure why Thunderstick left after Shock Tactics. Again, do I really care? Not that much there, but I just found him to be a very weird drummer. It's like a gimmick that was like a little weird, but anyway. So anyway, good album, but I find this one just keeps getting better and better as the album gets along, gets on. So there you go. Before the Storm from 1982, Nicky Moore's first album with Samson. And 1983, still the same lineup again. Yep. Don't Get Mad, Get Even, with again Nicky Moore on vocals. And again, this album, again, it's near the end again. It's like it starts off good, but becomes great like near the end. Especially Front Page News. I like the second last song there. Good album, again, gets better and better. But I guess this wasn't really super popular at the time, I guess. Like, we didn't know about this in Canada. I don't know about the UK there, what was going on with this here. But like 1983, this, I didn't know what the hell this was here. I found out about this like, I mean, we found out about the Bruce Dickinson ones. We found out about the Nicky Moore albums because of Martin Papa's books, but I've never seen these like in stores at the time. So yeah, after this album, they disbanded. So this is where the discography gets complicated, and I'll put this down. So after they disbanded, Paul Samson went and did one album, which was a Paul Samson solo album. But again, later on was put as a Samson album. I was like, okay, I'm not playing this game here. So I've got all the Samson albums, I believe. But yeah, there's missing a few there, so I'm not even gonna bother with that. But after they disbanded, well, Nicky Moore, which took me a while. I didn't realize this at the time. At the time when this band came out, I'm like, who the hell is this? So Mammoth came out, and they're a bunch of bigger men. That's your Nicky Moore right there, who was in the last two Samson records. Went out and did Mammoth, while Paul Samson was doing some solo albums, which were later credited as Samson Records, which is on. Okay, here we go. But anyway, in 1990, he came back and did another Samson album, Refugee, which is actually quite good. This time it's got Peter Scallon on vocals. And of course, you've got the typical. I do love this picture, which is on the album of one of the albums of. Well, yeah, Chris. Where is he? Oh yeah, it's a bunch of new people here. But anyway, more of a. I guess for the times, 1990, it was similar to Bruce Dickinson's voice, but not as powerful. But you know those I'm not gonna say hair metal, but hard rock bands are like, anyway, higher pitch voice. But yeah, this is actually a pretty good album here. I do like this one here. And so, but this would be Samson's last album, which again gets complicated. He does one more, I believe, Paul Samson solo album, but again later on goes on to become a Samson album. I'm just like, oh, okay, enough. So that's for Samson. Of course, Paul Samson passed away in 2002 due to cancer. The bass player, Chris Aylmer, in 2007 from throat cancer. Clive Burr, I'm putting him in this here because of the passed away in 2013 from multiple sclerosis. And Nicky Moore passed away last year, 2022, from Parkinson's. And I remember, this is actually coincidence, I remember either listening to Mammoth or a Samson record with Nicky Moore. that day. And then usually what I do is every time I listen to a record, I go online just to see a little bit what's. I'm like Nikki Moore. It was odd and creepy. Either it was the day after or the day of. I forget, to be honest there. But I was like, holy shit. Or I was listening to the record. I went the next day to look it up, and then he had passed away the day before. I was like, I was just listening to that album there yesterday with him. Anyway, I just Halloween's coming close. But anyway, so that's my little history on the band Samson. Give it a shot if you're not familiar with Bruce Dickinson's early work. He's got some good stuff in there. Check out also Biceps of Steel. I'll put the link on the bottom there. Dumb movie, but the songs are great, I find there. So, and a young Bruce Dickinson sang even better than. Well, he still sings good there, but back when in your prime, you're singing a lot better there. So, anyway, check it out, Samson from New Wave of British Heavy Metal. And on that note, thank you guys for watching, and we shall see you guys next episode. Take care, and bye-bye.